Welcome back to the Lewis Lee Guitar Show. This is episode 14. Very good. I'm so glad you're hanging in there and you've come back to visit us and to learn these lessons. Now, we're going to focus on, again, the finger exercise. And what we're working on this time is we're still working on page 56, and we're doing the exercise 3, and it's the third and the fourth measure, and we've already done 4 and 3. Now we're going to start off with fingering 2. Now if you look at this, let me explain this. Fingering 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we number the fingers. The pinky finger is number 4. The first one is number 1, 2, 3, 4, accordingly. Okay, great. So we have that. So it's telling you on the C, you're going to use the second finger. And it's telling you that for that F, it's going to be that second finger. Now you have an option. I like to use the tips of my fingers, but sometimes you can just hammer on it. Just use it flat. It depends. This is still good technique. Let me just show you that. It all depends on the sound that I'm trying to get. If I'm trying to hold a quarter note and I don't want to hear a break, I'll just come down flat. And it's okay. So remember, there are exceptions to every rule. And then you go to the A, and then the next note is that D. And that D is using your fourth finger. Okay, let me see. Okay, so it's C, F, C. And then it's your fourth finger, F, A, and then the C again. So it works like that, okay. Now, a lot of these exercises that I have in the book, I don't practice all of them because I've done it a lot of times. So what you're actually seeing is me read this, okay, because that's what I do. Remember, I read. So I'm looking at this and you're actually seeing me read it. Have I played it before? Yes. So have it memorized? No. I might not have played this for months because my teaching now is via Skype and we're working on different other aspects. So you're actually watching me figure it out. Now I can play it, okay? So it's in my subconscious mind. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to practice on that. And I'm going to be conscious of the time. We're going to start on metronome. Remember, 60 beats per minute. And then we're going to use down and up strokes. And we're going to start, and I'm going to count us in. Okay, here we go. 2. Give us a pre-count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thinking about my bills that I have to pay. I lost focus. great. Now, something I need to address. I made a couple mistakes, and that's because my mind drifted. And that's why I love reading. For stress, if I ever get stressed, I go and I start reading and I forget. Because you can't think about your bills or anything and read. You just cannot. So if you want to escape, so that's why I probably read so well, because I escape reality a lot and I read and I have to block out everything. And I said it as a joke, but it actually happened. As I was playing, I lost concentration for a minute and I thought about something. It was a bill, and I played the wrong note because I wasn't focused. You know, and I made it as a joke, but it was true. So I said to myself, because you know we're multi-functional and we can, do double task or multitask is the word I'm looking for. So as I was playing, I said, let me stay focused. I'm thinking all of this because I said I just made a mistake, and I can't make any mistakes. You know, our subconscious is speaking to us. So I got back on track. But that's what happens a lot of times. That's why it's important to be in a quiet place, to be comfortable. I'm so lucky I have a great chair that I'm sitting on. It's very comfortable, okay? So I feel comfortable playing and it's quiet. So the only distraction was in my mind. Just like I said, when I was playing it, I just thought about something and I got off. And that happens sometimes. When you're reading, it's just like being a doctor. You can't go in the operating room, you're a cardiologist, and go, oops. That's not a good sign, especially for the patient. If you go, oops, you know, you have to make sure you're focused. So with being a musician, it's the same. You have to make sure that you're focused, there's no distraction, especially when you're reading. So I just wanted to explain that because it was a little bit of a mistake that I made, and it was natural. Remember, we all make mistakes. We're all God's creature. We're not perfect. Okay, we're trying to work for perfection. We're trying, and that's all we can do is try. And keep trying, and that's a good segue. Keep trying, keep practicing, because that's what it takes. It takes patience. You have to be patient. As the Bible says, all things within patience and supplication. Sometimes you might have to fast, you have to pray, and then get back into it. Stay focused. Focus is the word, okay? So I hope there's no questions about this. We're going to truncate this a little early. If that's okay with my producer, let me look at him and see if that's okay. He gave me the nod. It's okay. So we're going to truncate this right now. And I look forward to you on the next segment, which is the theory. Thank you so much.
Guitar Lessons with Louis Lee is brought to you by the Eubanks Conservatory of Music and Arts, a 501c3 nonprofit corporation whose mission is to help parents teach cultural arts to their children at no cost and to encourage positive growth development, helping to reduce negative aspects of society in the lives of our youth.
Okay, we're back, and this is the theory part. We're going to still stay on the B string. Remember, each 2 lessons we focus on these strings because reading is important. We do not want to rush it. Take your time and study hard. That way you do not have to worry about going back and reviewing anything. Having said that, we're on page 19. Now, the page we did previously was page 20. And now we're going to go back to fine-tune these rhythms and reading on these staffs. So let's look at the first staff. We're going to read them straight down. There's no repeat. We're going to start from the first. If you notice that each measure, each staff is numbered with the measure. We have 18, we have 20, we have 11, 18, 25, 32. We're just going to probably do, I'll call out which one because some of them are more challenging. So having said that, we'll get the metronome straight. Remember, make sure you have your metronome with you and you set it to 60 beats per minute. That's very important. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, the metronome. So we're going to try staff 18, dealing with quarter notes. Let's try that. Count us off. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Continue on. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, Keep on. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Rest. Rest. 1, 2. Rest. Rest. 2. Rest. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4, and stop. So what we did is we covered the whole entire page. Remember, in reading, it's all about repetition. What you want to do is read as much as you can, but be consistent. If you read 10 minutes a day, you will accomplish a lot. Trust me, I have students that Mike Henkel, for one, Mike Vandercook, outstanding students. He's reading very well. He's been studying with me for 3 years. And a lot of students, they just practice an hour a day, 2 hours a day, and that's all it takes. You don't have to practice. It's a consistency. If you do 10 minutes, remember the objective is 30 minutes a day. So if you do 10 minutes of finger exercise, 10 minutes of theory, and 10 minutes of fun, you will accomplish your goal. I practice on an average right now, because of the COVID-19, I'm practicing about maybe 6 or 7 hours a day. I do 2 hours in the morning, then I go do my work, I go to the office, go to the school, read my mail, run errands, come back. In the evening, I do another 2 hours. Then I go to the gym. I have a gym at my house and one at my office. I work out. Then I run. I do about an hour and a half of cardio, 5 miles. Then I come back, I practice again. Then at night, I don't want to practice and read. I want to just play my guitar because I'm nocturnal. I don't want to start reading. I've been reading all day. So that's when I just play around with it. And you want, this is important, you want to connect to your guitar. You want to just feel it. You know, if you have these scales, even with this right here, where else can I play that? That could become a motif. What is a motif? It's an idea, a musical idea. And you know, you could use that. On what key? Now that's E minor chord. See, now you're beginning to connect. Music is spiritual. And it's a feeling, you have to feel it. So, and you want to take an exercise, anything that you have, you want to make it musical. Because if not, it's an exercise and you're not utilizing it, but you're spending so much time with it. So since you're spending so much time, incorporate that into your playing. So like I said, here you can hear that E minor chord. See how you're using that? And that's what you want. So that's what you do at night or anytime. I just happen to do mine at night, but you can do yours anytime. Take an exercise, and now that you've done all the theory, now that you have done all of the finger exercise, now it's the fun part. The fun part doesn't mean just playing the songs, Hotel California or Stairway to Heaven. The fun part means to connect with your guitar because it's an instrument. And that's how Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton and all these people become famous and great guitarists because they've connected with the guitar. So if you're playing this and you play that little line, a little simple line. And what about that E? That's in a different chord. Okay, that's in the A minor. Put a little blues in there, okay? So, enjoy yourself, have fun. I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much.
Guitar Lessons with Lewis Lee is brought to you by the Eubanks Conservatory of Music and Arts, a 501c3 nonprofit corporation whose mission is to help parents teach cultural arts to their children at no cost and to encourage positive growth development, helping to reduce negative aspects of society in the lives of our youth.
Now this is the fun part. So my producer said do something different, be spontaneous. So we're going to delve into the blues. Which is the root of all commercial music, okay? Either it's going to be the blues, which is considered to be swing, or it's going to be the European Baroque, which is a true interpretation, and all this is in the book. You have two ways of interpreting music: Baroque, right on the beat, or you swing it. You put some feeling into it, so it swings, so it has a feeling to it. So with that in mind, these are the chords. They're in the book. So you're in the sixth position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you have your first finger on the first string, your second finger on the fourth string, and then your third finger is on the second string, and your fourth finger is on that third string in the seventh position, like this. So that's your B flat 7 chord. Then you go to the E flat. These chords are in the book. You play on, I think it's page 27, but you'll see it. Okay, and then again you have your third finger on your fifth string, and your let me see, 1, 2, 3. Your third finger and your second finger is on your fourth string, and your fourth finger is on the third string, and the first finger is on the second string, like this. Okay, these are all forms, and and then it goes up to the F, and back. Now this is called a 1-4-5 progression. It's very, very, very standard. For the blues. So you have the 1. Now the 1 is implying that it's the tonic, the root, and we're in B flat. So that would be the 1. So we're talking about an interval. What is the distance between that note and the next note, E flat? It's a fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? B, C, D, E flat. Not to get too technical, but to explain this. And what's so great about these instructions is there every day, they're daily. So by the time you've seen it 2 or 3 times, you get the gist of it. So if you don't understand, just keep watching it, you will understand. So remember the interval. An interval is the distance between 2 notes in this perspective, what we're referring to. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The 1 is the tonic. Then it goes to the 5. Back to the 4, to the 1. So we're going to just try that. And so I hope you understand that. And we're going to get our metronomes. I'm going to turn on our metronome, excuse me. Okay, here we go. This is a slow blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. I just slid up a half step. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2. Back to the 5 for the F. Now that's called an 8-bar blues. So I played a bar. You know what a bar is. Has 4 beats, 4 counts, and then I play that 4 times. So what you want to do is you want to get familiar with that. So play it as much as you can. Now, this is the fun part. Most guitar players, they improvise, excuse me, off the pentatonic. And you can stay on that B flat, or you can change. In jazz, what you want to do is to change. Okay, so you don't want to stay on the pentatonic on that one. You want to so you want to change it. So in jazz, you want to change that. Then go to the 5. Instead of staying on that straight pentatonic in B flat. Now, we will not cover this, but that's simple, not simple, excuse me. That's the basic for playing the blues. And a lot of rockers play that. You know, they use that. And that works fine. But once you get into true improvisation and jazz, which we'll cover this in the 21st lesson, it gets into, I'm working on my 3rd book, and it's called Jazz Improvisation, using the jazz melodic minor. No one's delved into that. And there are chords that match that, as with the diatonic. It has your Lydian, your Phrygian, your Locrian. Each step of, the degree of the scale in the diatonic, it has a chord. Now, they're not to get too complex, but the 1 would be the Ionian, and then the 2 is the Dorian, the 3 is the Phrygian, the 4 is the Lydian, the 6 is the Aeolian, and the 7th is the Locrian. These are the scales that you have for the modes, and they work very well in contemporary music. But there's nothing for jazz, and so years ago I was playing jazz, and I played jazz all my life, but I said, you know what, there has to be a jazz scale. So I'd come up with the jazz melodic minor and the scales that relate to it, so that you have a lot of tension. So when you're playing this, you can play some tension. And you want tension. That's how life is. So we have tension. Food, you have salt. You don't want everything to be sweet. But we'll delve into that. I don't want to get too far off on the tangent, but I want you to understand, if you stick with the program, in the future you can look towards this. A lot of times when I do play rock, I go into that. You can even superimpose a diminished. A diminished scale. Now you have tension. So there's a lot that you can superimpose, and it gives you a lot of variety. Saxophone players do that a lot. They do that an awful lot. Keyboard players, somewhat, but guitar players don't, not unless you're a rocker like Jeff Beck. Jeff Beck is really one of my favorite guitar players. He's into a lot of tension. So this is something that you can look forward to. But to get back to the basics, you want to keep that in form. That's the 1, that's the 4, back to the 1, and this is the 5. That's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's at F, E flat to B. Remember that, basic blues. Now, again, as I said, if we get into chords, you can. Now, I'm playing a lot of chords now, but remember, the tension. That's what you want. It's a vocabulary. Look at your instrument as a vocabulary. The more you read and you expand your vocabulary, the more you can express yourself with a variety of words. And so that's how music is. You want to have, your vocabulary is what you have. So with all the scales, with all the chords, all of this is part of what we're gearing towards in our lesson. So if you stay with us for the duration, I think my producer said he wanted to do 60 of these. By the time we got to that many, he just looked at me. But I remember him saying that. I should have recorded it. I think he said 90, but he might have been joking. But anyway, if you stick with us, you'll learn all of this. And a lot of musicians will envy you because you'll be playing something. They'll say, wow. And I get that a lot. You see, they say, wow. Okay, and that's what we want. If you stick with us, this is the Eubanks Conservatory of Music and Arts guitar program. This is the Lewis Lee Guitar Program Show. Stay with us. We appreciate all that you've done. Stay focused. Keep God first. I look forward to seeing you again.
If you would like to purchase a copy of the Eubanks Guitar Pedagogy Course Instruction Book used by Lewis Lee in this video, just contact us at lewis-lee@the-ecma.com or mail a request to Post Office Box 1175, Hawthorne, California, 90251, or call 424-350-7027. And remember, all donations are fully tax deductible.